Well, after 1 month, it's time to do the review of Built Strength. Now, this one is of one of like several different ones that of the Built series. So there's this one, Built Strength. There's also like a Hollywood, Performance, Longevity, and Size. So there's good five, five of them, maybe six. I could be forgetting one. You can go to athlean-x.com and check out all the programs and stuff. But I decided to do Built Strength this way to kind of help kind of get ready for the AX Live games. So next set of program will be like the champion program, and that's up next to continue getting ready for the AX Live games. And then of course I'm probably gonna be shifting afterwards, kind of maybe sit there and do like the 1,000 pound club and everything because I am within striking distance of getting that. And the cat's over here looking for attention, aren't you? Yes. You coming in for the review? Yep. Yes, show up and be like, yep, cat coach is here. Yes, you think so? You think the review is good? Yeah? You think I did good and everything? Yeah? Yeah? You tell him to get into these programs and stuff? Get after it? Yeah? Doesn't care. He just cares about attention, don't you? Anyway, yeah, it's this guy is looking for attention. The way the workouts worked and everything is yeah, I'm old school, like good old trusty notebook and everything. Like write down the programs and the actual workouts. So like a lot of times, what you do is you'd have like in essence, warm up exercise. So for instance, like you use like a band or whatever. You do like band prone presses, band kneeling down and you're doing presses, or you're doing band pull aparts. You're also doing like the band hip ladder where you step on the band and you step back and forth that way. You also do like banded face pulls, kind of like as a primer move to kind of get into the work, whatever workout you're doing. So for instance, like you could do one of the early workouts is banded overhead squats, kind of as a primer move to kind of oh hey look, we're starting to get into leg day and everything, and then you'd go into for instance like this one, barbell squats, barbell RDL, box squats, alternate reverse dumbbell lunges, glute ham raises. So for instance, the primer, like the banded overhead squats, what you do is you do like 3 by 10, 3 sets by 10 reps and everything. Then you get into like the barbell squats. Yeah. As my cat decides to get into yes, you're getting into stuff. Yeah. Anyway, back to the workouts. So banded overhead squats, the 3 by 10 and everything. So like I said, it's kind of like a primer. And then the barbell squats, what you're doing is 4 sets and then a fifth set. The first 4 sets you're doing like 7 reps and everything, and then the fifth set is AMRAP, as many reps as possible. So basically you do the good old back squats. You do 4 sets for 7 reps, and so you want to do it at maybe an 8 rep max or something. And then you usually have the rest times between this, since it's building strength, is 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So now of course the way the rest times work. Yes, your guy's in trouble. Yeah. Anyway, as he's distracting me from actually telling you about this program and everything, the way rest times usually work is the less that you rest between sets and everything, the more apt you're going to be geared towards muscle endurance, and the longer you rest, you're going to gear more towards muscle strength and everything. Because the way it works is when for instance, when you're sitting like I am here, you're sitting, you're resting after you do a set. You're giving yourself time to be able to in a sense flush out that buildup of lactic acid and everything. Yes, you're gonna cause problems again, huh? Yes. So with it, for instance, the 30-second rest time, gearing more towards muscle endurance, the lactic acid buildup doesn't necessarily have enough time to get flushed out of your system. So that's why it gears more towards muscle endurance. you gear more towards like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and of course like the stereotypical 5 minutes where you see like the power lifters. The joke is like they do a set and they get 20-minute nap and everything. But like that's the concept of that is like you're gearing more towards pure strength, so that way like the lactic acid can, like I said, get flushed out and everything. Of course, the whole like all the science and everything is like a lot more complicated than just like me talking about it for a few seconds. Yes, you want attention again, huh? Yes, here we go. Yes, always want attention when I'm doing these, huh? Yes, I know. And so that's like the concept of the rest period. So that's why like with these ones they're like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, minute and a half to 2 minutes. Yeah. You gonna go chase Aiden? Yeah. You gonna go chase your brother? Get your workout in? No. You're here to get more attention, huh? Yep. Cat's here to teach us to get after it and everything. So that's what you do with the squats and everything. 4 sets of seven reps, and then a fifth set as many reps as possible. Then you get into like the RDLs, 3 sets of 12. You do Spock squats, 3 sets of 12. The alternating reverse dumbbell lunges, 3 sets of 8, and then you do the glute ham raises, 3 sets of 8, and everything. So it kind of follows that like concept for the whole program. So like for instance, like the next workout, banded pull aparts, 3 sets of 10, kind of as like a primer. And then what you do is like the barbell bench press, same kind of concept. You do 4 sets at 7 reps. Then you do a fifth set, as many reps as possible. Then you do barbell rows, 3 sets of 12. And then medals rows, 3 sets of 8. And of course, like medals rows, you do both sides and everything. If you don't know what a medals row is, there are tutorial videos out there that you can check on how to do that. You do dumbbell hammer curls, 3 for 12, weighted push-ups, 3 for 8, and then dumbbell overhead tricep extension, 3 by 8. So like a lot of times like this was an overall like you could say like a upper lower type of split and everything with like with the workout I just went. You're doing chest and back and everything. So and like the whole concept of this is like doing like like in a sense 1 month sprint to build strength, hence build strength and everything. So that's kind of the concept of like this program. So, and of course, each of the build programs is like geared towards the specific thing that they're designed for. Like build strength is obviously build strength. Now, longevity, you're gearing yourself more towards longevity. Performance would be like something like, hey, you've got like a competition coming up, like the AX Live event that I go to that I mentioned. You could use that as a kind of like segue into like a champion program, which is specifically designed for the AX Live event and everything. Which my plan is to do like as of this recording, going to be starting in it tomorrow and everything to get myself ready for that. And so these are like 1 month programs, like I said. So that way, like in a sense, like you could do like a good old sprint and everything. So now I do know, like I came across like some stuff like that Joe DeFranco has posted, and this was probably like a few weeks ago. That he mentioned that he does stuff in like 1 month blocks and everything to kind of keep things fresh and everything. Because usually, like if you're doing the same thing for 3 or 4 months at a time, you kind of get like fatigued of more like a psychological fatigue, like doing the same shit over and over and over again. So that's why it's usually good to mix things up. And so that's what's great about these 1 month programs is that got this like in a sense 1 month sprint type of deal. So like you're doing like a program like this for a month. Oh hey look, you just all of a sudden you turn around and you're done and everything. So now with the other programs, the athlean-x programs, like usually they have like a 1 month phases. So like for instance, the flagship program AX1 is 3 months long, but there would be like 3 phases. And so like the same thing like with the other programs, like the All American Muscle program I did was 4 months long, but you have like in a sense month blocks to kind of follow the same kind of concept. So it'd be great to mix them up and everything. So like if like maybe like you're experienced and you get into All American Muscle, and then like you do the 4 months of that, and then like you might be like me and like, oh man, I just finished a 4 month program. Do I necessarily want to do like another 3 month program? That's where something like this comes great. Great. Yes, yeah, you're distracting us. Yes. So this is where like 1 month programs can come in handy. Is like when you're coming off a 3 or 4 month program, like a 4 month program, like All American Muscle, you can get into this and kind of do like that 1 month sprint, and then oh, okay, you feel refreshed after like finishing a month long program, and then you can get back into maybe like another 3 month program. So maybe you do All American Muscle, you do build strength for a month, and then maybe you get into Monster Maker and everything. So those are like the kind of concepts that you can use like a program like this and everything, kind of as like a segue in between longer programs and everything. So with this being only a month and everything, yes, I know you're gonna cause more problems. Yes, yeah, you're gonna say goodbye. All right, we're gonna tell them that like the great thing about these 1 month programs is that it's a good segue in between other programs, like I mentioned and everything. So definitely check these out and everything. And like always, like these programs are definitely well worth it. And you literally have years worth of training with all the programs and athlean-x and everything. So you got a plug for nutrition, so you got that figured out. So pretty much you have like a one-stop shop with like the programs, like a nutrition approach. Plus, like you get the Facebook group, you have your community. You watch the YouTube videos for athlean-x. You can get ideas for like mobility training. So again, your one-stop shop for like all your training, nutrition, everything that you need and everything. So for a 1 month program, definitely well worth it. And it's like I'll mention last that this is like pretty much all of them is geared towards more like more athletic type of training. So as we two of us say, as cat coach here, get to the gym and get after it. Yes, time for people to do it, right? Yes. So this is like us saying goodbye. See you guys next week.